Saturday, June 22nd, 6:37 p.m. Central Time. Early Saturday morning, I noticed that this flattened out. The price of Bitcoin flattened out. You see these little tiny candles, and it's just going straight sideways. Now, a couple weeks ago, this happened, and I said that's not normal for Bitcoin. That's not normal at all. That price action. And I thought to myself, this happened last weekend. And then I thought, well, this happened the weekend before that. And then I was like, wait a second, that happened even the weekend before that. And so I went back and I looked, and lo and behold, it has done this. This is the fourth weekend in a row where it's just went totally flat like that. And so I thought to myself, why don't I make a little chart here? Now, this is my full chart, but what I've added to it here is these vertical blue and yellow lines. The blue line, the blue vertical line represents Friday night, midnight, the first, 100 hours Saturday morning. The yellow line is Sunday night, midnight, Monday, 100 hours. That 48 hours in between each blue and yellow. Well, I'm just marking the weekends, make a long story short. If I can spit it out. But I thought, because it's interesting, it can really benefit you greatly when you start noticing patterns that develop in Bitcoin. And so I marked it back, and I just thought it would be interesting to see what was going on here. And so you see this here. This is not normal behavior for Bitcoin at all. And it's been happening on the weekends. Look at this. And look how similar this is. See that? The first, that's basically 24 hours, right? That's basically Saturday from 0-100 to Saturday at 2400. See this? Look at this. Here's 2 weekends ago. Look at that. See that? Look at that, folks. So this is the kind of stuff that can really, really benefit you. Now, I don't know. I can't tell if it'll pump or dump after this breaks, but it's Monday, right? It's Monday. So look at this. It goes back even further. Look at this. It's basically the 24 hours after the blue line. It's just straight sideways. And let's go back. Oh, shoot. That's so annoying. I wish the brush would. That's annoying. I wish I could move my chart without having to take the brush off. Now I got to sit here and explain it to you again in this video. Okay, there we go. Now let's move the chart. Turn the brush back on. It's not so much here. It is basically going sideways, but it's not that. It's not those tiny little short candles. Turn my brush off. Okay, and here's one. It's pretty similar though. See that? Look at that. It's that, the further back we go, it's not as much sideways, but let's go back, and there's one more. Let's see. This is just as far as I marked. I could keep going back and doing this. I actually went twice. Back here, it's similar here. And back here, this last one I marked, it's really, that's not similar. Well, I guess I went back even further. That's not similar. That's not similar. So this started here, the May 11th, Saturday, 100 hours, May 11th. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th weekend. So 6, 7. Shoot. This is the 7th weekend it's done that. So that's saying something. And that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. The 7th weekend has done it, and it's the 1, 2, 3, 4th weekend where it's just the real flat, now super flat, and that's what perked my ears up. So let's just show that. I got a cat touching me. Get off me. Those 4 circles there. Look at that. See how similar they are? For about 24 hours, a little longer than 24 hours, 24, 36 hours. Just goes basically straight sideways like that. That's not normal. And that's what perked my ears up when I saw it happening again this weekend. It's time to pay attention to that movement. Now let's go back. Let's just concentrate on this 4, right? The 3 before this. Let's see if we can gather some kind of usable information here. Let's actually just put all 4 of these in sight and get as much look as we can here. Something like that. Looks pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's go back to the 4th one. About 30 hours straight sideways. It pumps up, it pumps down. Now, there's different patterns here. Like for this one here is finding support on this red ascending channel, so that can come into play. Now, it doesn't really matter because it could have broke down out of there, so let's not focus a whole lot. But those patterns do have, kind of a gravitational effect, if you will, on the price action. But anyways, about 30 hours, it just goes straight sideways in those little candles. And then it breaks up, comes back down, goes sideways for a little bit, and then late Sunday night, it pumps up, and then look at this, it ends up pumping from 67.7 to 72,000. Let's mark that, or let's see how big of a pump that was. Ends up being a 6.4% pump. And then let's go look at the next one, straight sideways for about 30 hours. 36 hours, give or take, it ends up just going sideways. It basically, that's almost 48 hours, just straight sideways, and a little incline to it. And then it hits Monday morning, 0-100 Monday morning, and it just kind of goes a little bit, and then maybe a little fakey tight, and then boom, big dump, right? So the first one's a big pump, 6.5% pump or so, and then let's actually kind of measure from up here where it pumped a little bit too, and then go down here, and that's a 5.5, almost a 6%, 5.75%. Actually, I'm a little off there. About 6% dump. So a 6% pump, a 6% dump. That's interesting, right? The weird atypical, is that the right word? The weird, not normal behavior of Bitcoin. Little tiny hourly candles. This is the hourly chart. Little tiny hourly candles. That is very odd behavior for Bitcoin. 6% pump. The next weekend it breaks out 6% dump. And then let's see. Last weekend what happened? Sideways for 24 hours, 30 hours, and a slight incline. I wouldn't even call it a pump. These candles are so small, and it kind of it starts going up, and then it gets to Monday, and it dumps and then pumps. So I'm not saying what's going to happen. I just find this interesting. I can't say what's going to happen on this Monday, but I can say that Monday something's going to happen. Is basically what's going on here, right? So it kind of ends up dumping, and then it pumps back up, and that top of that to there that's a 5% dump from there, but there's no way to tell exactly what's going to happen. But the last three Mondays, in a nutshell, the last 3 Mondays has been at least a 5% dump or pump, and it's closer to 6% on the other. And now that we see that, let's go back and just eyeball these other ones. The 5th one back, it's the same type of behavior, right? A little bit of dump and then pump and then the dump. And let's just measure that one. This is the first time I've done this. I just turned the screen recorder on. I figured I'd talk about it. That's a 5% dump. It pumps a little bit and then it dumps. And after the little pump, it's a 5% dump. And then let's measure this one back here. Monday, the yellow line's Monday, 0-100. And, before that, it kind of dumps, and then it's kind of going sideways, and then it decides to pump. That's Monday. The traditional market's open. And was there a holiday back in there? Anyways, 7.8. That's almost an 8% pump. That's occurring on Monday after that one. And let's see this one here. This Monday it starts out pumping and then dumps. This is probably the more starts on Tuesday. But anyways, let's see what that pump is. That turns out to be almost a 10%. Now we're talking, right? That's 9.4%, 9.5%. Now there's really no telling what's going to happen if it's going to pump or dump starting Monday, but there is a big movement on Monday is basically all I can say, and that's kind of saying a lot. If you know there's going to be a big move on Monday, that helps a lot, right? So let's see this one before here. Monday starts, and now obviously this is for the whole week, but for through the whole week, starting on Monday, that dumps 8%, and going back further to the left, that pattern is disappearing, the sideways pattern. But for the last 1, 2, what was it? 3, 4, 5, 6. This is basically the sixth. The last 4 have been super strange, tiny little hourly candles, and then the 2 or 3 before that were, particularly the 2 before that, were basically sideways. But the last 3, and then right now what we're witnessing is the 4th one in a row. So what's going to happen here? Right, there's a move coming, is what I can tell you, most likely. And when the traditional when the traditional markets open Monday morning, is was about Central Time. My time, it'll be I think they got early trading now, so it's like 7, 8 a.m. or so. Asian markets might be moving this a little bit too, but just paying attention to where I live and what time it is where I am. But what's going to happen? I don't know. It's going to probably go sideways just like this for a little while longer, and then there'll be some sort of move, that we've been seeing, right? And then maybe I don't know. And then Monday, something's going to happen Monday, right? And so now let's have a look at my chart. We're here. Let's look out a day and a half into the future, and we're here. And this is my chart where this white shaded area in between the 2 horizontal lines is going to be strong resistance. The top of that green descending channel is a strong resistance, and immediately above there we've got this horizontal line at 66,000, which is a resistance area. And in a nutshell, this area here is likely to be decent resistance. And so if it were to break up through here, this green channel does have a target of about 3,800. So if it broke out from here, you might be looking at $69,000 Bitcoin. So if I just had to guess, I would say that's going to end up being resistance. And I'm drawing lines for no reason on my chart again. I would say that's going to be probably resistance. So I'm leaning towards the dump, right? And my overall analysis for the last week or so is that this is a continuing dump, and it's basically kind of going down in $1,000 increments, a little more than $1,000. This last one stopped at 63,400, so I'm looking for probably a continuation. And down here is a real strong support area, and I'm watching this golden horizontal line at 60,800 is being a likely spot to stop. If it doesn't stop before that, the 61,800 area, the 62,150 area. I just like this. If I had to guess, I would say this is probably coming down to 62,000, 61,800 with a possibility of a wick or something down to 60,800, and then maybe a bounce from there early next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I would look for a dump and then a pump. And then that's it. That's what I got to tell you. I sure hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope we get some traction on YouTube. Later.